dat bij jou past. Niet alles past bij iedereen, en dat heb ik ook al lang gezien, dus zo ja. En dan moet je een draadsoort pakken dat No, there was no sound yet. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Was explaining some stuff to Alicia. Oh, I'm back to 800. Yeah, let's go. So we hit out to 26,000 level like I expected. I said actually 25,950, 940 to take profit. So you missed actually about 60 points. So that was actually very good doable. We just didn't have luck. That 3-minute entry that I took yesterday, that would have been a very gorgeous entry. I just needed to put my stop a bit lower, but for the rest that was actually a beautiful play. Anybody jumped in later actually because we have multiple. Hi. We have multiple times actually to still jump in this trade. So here we could have jumped into it. Here we had a second. No, we didn't actually. No, it was just a 5 minute that you could jump into it. I didn't watch good. Oh, this was 3, so we had multiple. Here we had a chance. 6:30, we could have jumped in at 8 and just take this ride back up. That was the only one actually still valid. Now for today, let's take a look where we at. We just hit a 4-hour gap. We also hit a 6-hour for rally gap, so we hit multiple gaps actually. We came in an hourly, a 15 minute, a 30 minutes, so we actually came in multiple for rally gap, so we came in at 30 minutes, an hourly. Stock isn't changed to the downside yet, so still looking for longs at the moment. But there is a possibility today that we actually go for that daily gap. Yesterday it just said I wanted to continue higher. It didn't stop. It just went up all day. So if we go up, we have a few 15 minutes right here too, so I do want to watch how we act if we go up at this level. So this was the last full leg up, so we came up, we actually did not go above the highs, and we actually had that retracement right here, so we came back to fair value of price of the last movement. So if you watch, this was actually the last move, so we came almost to that 7.8 level. We came back to fair value of price, so or we go up from here. If not, we fall further down. We still have a small 15-minute gap right here that we could go tap. And then I want to see if we breach that 25,920, we got some down apartment to go. If we don't go below 25,920, we're going up. So if we want a long from here off, I would prefer that we actually get to this last fair value gap right here. Here I would take definitely a long off, back to the highs. Was a bit late for this one, 7:15. Dat is voor u. Nee, dat was voor u. Redelijk in de zet. Take a look if we have any news today. Nothing special coming out. Morning Blake, Bulmans, Nicolas, Vele. Happy to see you all again. So we just had a huge movement back up to the highs. So we hit that 26,000 level yesterday evening. Exact that close actually. Who held actually to that 26,000 level? Did anybody hold? This is why we didn't expect any lower prices, so we didn't want to short. So for today, I want to take a long off this one here. Back to the highs. If we get tapped, that would make a 5-hour straight out of this trade. That would definitely be a very beautiful trade. We had already taken out previous day high. We will see if we get that entry, yes or no. We did come in a half hour, an hourly, 4-hour gap right here, so if we start pushing up higher, we can just immediately go to the highs too. It will depend on what the market here wants to show us. So here we can see actually that top tweezer. So we came on to, we made a high, we didn't displace it above it. We had two half-hour candles like a top tweezer that showed us that the market wanted to return a bit. 15 minute actually not seeable, only on the half hour. For now, let's see what the market gives us, if we got some movement, yes or no today.
Ik zie het ernaast zien, break-off-structure, als je op break-off-structure moet kijken van de 15. Ik heb er de vorige keer weer gedaan, het was niet juist, dus dat is de laatste high toch? Maar dan moet hij helemaal tot tijd maken eerst, wanneer dat je kunt iets doen.
Dit was de laatste high.
Waarom? Die is toch hoog? Die is toch hoger?
De laatste high die gebroken geweest is. Welke is dat? De laatste high die gebroken geweest is. Die wel erboven gekomen is. En een high wordt pas gevormd nadat je een low teruggemaakt hebt.
Dan zie ik ga weer veel te veel leren en ik ga weer veel te veel zien.
Dus dit is een high en dat was een low. So we created a high, we created a low, and this is the new structure of this candle formation. we hit the highs before we hit that target, I'm not entering this. I'm taking this off, of course. So you hold? Oh, nice. 1 month that you took it to the highs. That must have been a beautiful trade. If we take that 15-minute orb. So we're still watching for logs at this point. We're just holding here a bit. Well, first, we will definitely come to these 2 15 minutes that's still open. Our left opened orders right here. So we retraced, and I want to see, do we push further up or do you want to retrace immediately back to that low? We will probably see London take the highs today if we want to go down. We got about a half hour until opening of London. At this point we just move inside slowly. We definitely have equal highs here, so we will come for this. So these are equal highs right here. Liquidity above. And for now, just be patient, see what happens. That's all what it is.
Het hangt al
Practice,
de eerste
repeat.
dagen over, dus het is meestal de eerste stap die niet gemakkelijk is. Dus je hebt al
Eigenlijk als ik bij Amina ben, dan moet ik dat ook allemaal doen. Al die dingen, want ik wilde eigenlijk wel behouden. Ik was zeker mijn splitpunt in het eind.
Ze gaan je wel helpen, dus het turnt graag.
Ja, ze kan mij ook iets leren.
Right, I cannot read your context. That's a language I cannot read, my friend. You said something about oil, but I could not read the text that you are typing. It's in a language I cannot understand. Gold took that plummet yesterday, so that means that we came into a daily FVG right here. We took some liquidity. Yeah, 3006 would be... This is actually an amazing spot to be in right now. We're almost at that 50 level, so 3008, but if you want to buy gold, 3008 and between 3,300, anything between here is actually a bargain for gold at this point. You had a reduction of the highs for about 10. If you get to that level, 12%, that would actually be amazing to see. So be aware if you're an investor, guys. If you're a trader right here, please make sure that you at least have like $200 a month to invest into it. I'll give you just a simple reading why. Do this for yourself. I want you all to do this for one time for yourself. Take this calculator. This is just if you do, say that you do Bitcoin, just Bitcoin, guys, nothing else. Bitcoin does annually of 50%. Say that you have a starting budget from about 5k, you want to invest for the next 10 years, and you invest every month, say $200. You would have, after 10 years, you would have 1 million people. With a starting budget for only 5,000. This is Bitcoin, guys. Just Bitcoin. This gives an annual return about 50%. So you don't watch highs and lows. You just invest every month the same amount. Don't watch it. Don't do anything else. Just do this. In 10 years you're done. You don't even need to learn how to trade. So at least make sure that you have the capacity, if you're trading, to do that too. Gold does not always have the same returns, but Bitcoin will for the next 5 to 10 years will have that return. So normally today I would upload my yeah, true, Blake. It is the book that I was promising about easy money. What am I listening to? It's almost finished. Almost actually. The Psychology of Money. I'm almost done with recording everything. I believe in another hour, and everything's finished, and then I can upload it. Do listen to that one. It's so important that you know with an investment what it does. If you just keep investing and keep doing the same thing and don't watch anything about it, just make sure that you don't need the money. Make sure that you have like 6 months savings aside and then start doing this, or 3 months at least, and then make sure you don't need it for 10 years, that money, and just repeat. And believe me guys, 10 years goes by very fast. Once you have children, mine is 9 at this point, so it flew. For now, still at the same range, should be about 40 minutes in. If you haven't noticed, we're just going sideways, actually chopped, because nothing works. So what are we building up? We're building up some trend line liquidity right here. We have equal lows right here. So we're building up liquidity right now. It will, you can see this is one is not. So this is straight, so it shouldn't tap them. Did we take it? So we're building up some liquidity right now. We never take out the high too, so we did take it out once. Here we had rejected, here we got rejected. So let's be patient and see what the market does want to show us at this point. So if you never have done this, just go to compound interest site and just fill this in for yourself. You will see how much this is, even if you only get like an annual return of the stock market is like 8 to 10% yearly. So that will make you 54,000, that's way less of course. But still, from 5,000 to 55,000 is still a nice amount. That's 10x your money that you made. So this is why Bitcoin is actually such a great opportunity for everybody. And if anybody still doesn't believe this will be the next payment system, it will. There is no other way. We're not going back to gold and silver. Is it a good investment? Yes. Is it a good payment system? No. Good gold and silver will never be. I don't see anybody walk around with a wallet full of gold in his pockets. I think that would way too much. We're used to a bank card, so we will keep using those things. It's way easier to communicate with each other. we go down and take this cap, I'm taking that long, no matter what. I'm gonna try this one time. If I see that we actually are moving lower, I'm just gonna change hands and short the part down. But this is too good of an opportunity actually to let go of. The reason why I like this setup is actually we had the last breakup structure of the highs, and this is actually that 7-8 level, so that's actually a very beautiful level to go long of. The only thing that I have is there's an hourly gap just below us.
Voor u mee te testen welke link moet ik nu gebruiken.
Wat allemaal dat ding, wat dat heel dat is.
Een linkje gewoon inzetten voor die wekelijkse, dagelijkse testmails te doen. Wat je nu gevraagd hebt.
Wat dat ding in moet erop zetten. Van gisteren, wat je gemaakt hebt. Dat die...
Ja, het zal gewoon hieronder zetten.
Dat die dat je door die testmail uitstuurt. En dan kunnen ze zien hoe ze testmails krijgen. Dan gaan die tweede dag die automatisch ook gaan en zo. En kijk, we wachten dat het automatisch. En dan zegt hij daar een e-mailadres invullen en kijken of dat automatisch loopt. So anybody in here want to give me help at this point? So I'm testing some stuff out, how to actually people that defied me. It's all new for me, so system.io, it's all new, automatic mails and everything, so my wife is helping me to create it. I actually need a few of you to fill in your email address and your name and check if everything works. So you would get follow-up mails like every 2 days or every 3 days, so I just want to check before I actually send it to the public that it works. I'll share the link in the chat if anybody wants to fill it in. I would be grateful. Thanks, Blake. Always appreciated. So I just gave the link in the description. Nee.
Kan er nu een link zetten.
I'm happy that I have such a good community that helps me out. This can actually help me a lot. Yeah, I sent it to myself and I filled it in for myself too, but I just want to make sure that everybody gets the same stuff. It just will give you a follow-up mail every every second day, and then one at the third day too, I believe. There's only one link on this thing that doesn't work yet. I'm still building on it. If you have the thank you page, the last part doesn't work yet. So this is about 9 minutes before open, and we're still in the opening range of 8 o'clock, so a bit of a sideways movement at this point. If you have the movement, watch the movement from the now perspective, we're actually moving lower. So in the hourly, we can watch, we came down, we tapped an hourly for value gap right here, we moved lower, so we made the break. Again, we came up, we didn't take the high yet, so we didn't take the liquidity, and we're still at this level now. So this hourly came fully back after the response of this one. So at this point, it looks like it wants a little bit more lower. If you don't have it easy reading it upside down, just change your scale to inverted scale right here, and you can actually read it to the upside. This way it looks actually the same, but just the opposite way. So this is why I said once we get above actually this high, we should, or that's low actually, we should actually start moving to this gap or that day gap.
Ik heb je dat gevraagd van die warm-up. Van die warm-up die week dat ik aan het doen ben. Waar heb je dat gevraagd? Anders ga ik iets vragen daar nog een keer in. Omdat ik het dan niet op mijn eigen ding ga doen, dan gaat die eigenlijk verwacht geraken ofzo.
Ben je dat boven het minste?
Die?
Nee. Dacht ja, Peter van Dien is ja. Ja, Peter van Dien is ja, maar dat staat heel van boven. Ja, vraag nog in dat is oké. Doe maar.
Deze?
Ik denk dat ik bezig ben. Dat tot daarin stond. Van die e-mails. Die nog, de laatste. Dat is eigenlijk niet de slimste. Hier het meeste. Die weet alles. Two, one, we just a break.
Ja, we moeten zo doen. Maar ik kan toch nog doen.
Gewoon niet, zeg je. Kan je papier zetten dan?
Ik moet helemaal studeren, zo weer al. Ja. Maar ik ga niet 2 doen, hè. Dat ga ik niet doen. Zo. Ik ga niet en dat hebben en hier nog.
So we're 4 minutes from open. Remember that, so we could have a bit of a movement at open. We just take an internal liquidity right here of these. So prefer that the movement keeps falling further down right here. Was no 15-minute gap left, so could not take an entry here myself. So 2 minutes we have open. Like I said, if we take out the high first before we go to the entry of mine, I will not take along. I want to see that limit order get filled first before we take out the highs. So it will depend on what open does actually at London. Because I see, if we take out the high first or come into this 3-step value gap right here and then go back down, there's a big possibility that we had a rejection off of this, took out those equal highs where liquidity is, came into a bunch of value gaps and then want to go to that low. So that's the reason why. I don't see us go up, stay around here, come back down and then move further up. The easiest way for this is just to go 10 points lower and then take that move back up. So we got about a minute, we will see what happens. So everybody understands why I have a limit order at this point. Morning, Arjun. So 20 seconds for open.
Ik wil toch dat je een keer evalueert eerst, voordat je een beslissing maakt. Maar ja, ik heb er niet van niets gehoord opnieuw, maar het is niet dat ik echt een trader ben. Ja. Ik volg gewoon plan, stapjes en dat wil ze doen.
Still at the same place, just at our entry. So repeat it one more time. If we take out those equal highs where those €3 buttons are on my screen and we go to the high from all-time high, I am deleting my entry. So at this point, not much more to do than just sit and be patient, see what the market shows us for the rest of the time. So if you're in orb to the downside, there is a possibility that the limit will just get triggered and we just flush straight through it. So be aware of that. Once we get to that level, I would just recommend to put your stop at entry at least, and then see if we continue to fall further down. Because if we do, and we continue actually all the way, there is a possibility that we actually don't stop, don't go up, and straight go for that openings gap. So be aware of that too. Just that you don't fully close that trade just because I have an entry right here on the other side.
Moeten opstaan. Mensen vragen wel. Het is in onze gewoon dat ik constant uitzoek.
Yeah, Nisha added, of course.
Always.
I wasn't following. My mistake. Did you add twice?
Ik ben er hier in gegaan, allebei kreeg. En dan heb ik hier deze gepakt. Hier.
She added once.
Ah ja, er is geen tweede. Er is geen tweede.
So on this 5-minute gap she added. Sorry, Nicholas, was not in time. You're correct.
Dat is geen tweede.
I got distracted.
Jij ook met je John? Ik heb dat gisteren niet gedaan.
Waarom?
Dat is milder.
So do we react also how we react after Asia low? So this is Asia low. We just set up a value gap just below it, so probably we just hit that low and then continue to those gaps. So here comes Asia low. So that's Asia low. I just got taken. So here we want to watch how we act off of it. So we do want to continue to fall. We do want to continue that flow to the downside right here for that TP. Now again, just be patient, let this market play out. See how it goes. Every 10-15 minutes we can watch the chart again. For now, we're in it, so my limit order is set. Initial is at a short at this point, so we will see how far we can take this. Not much we can do. Unless you have any questions, of course, then I'd love to answer them. Why is your result at the top of the range? Just a no. No, you didn't. Initial always puts it just that high. You did not miss anything. It was not needed to put it all the way up. Initial just always puts it. Is er helemaal boven heen? Ja.
Ja, als die hier onder gaat, dan ga ik hem lager zetten.
So she said when we break this structure, then she's gonna move it a bit lower. But she just keeps it there right now. So we did not get that candle close below. It did not fully get back in, so it's like if the candle closed fully under those two equal lows, I would have said we have full down movement, but at this point it's like half. But this candle closed back inside those two wicks. I prefer to see a candle close just below it, and then I would say, okay, we had that structure further to the downside right now.
niet, nee.
So you could place your... it departs 5 points actually. We still have a 15-minute cap right here. So you can drop your stop like 5 points. Not the biggest movement. Ben je nog 15 minuten cap, ja, inderdaad.
Maar ja, ik heb die gepakt nu.
Ja,
Die is nog bezig. Ja.
Still not the strongest move under Asia low, so I do want to see that strong push down there. Still being patient. Not the biggest fan of this price action right here. After taking Asia low and then still not a straight move further down. So for anybody new to the channel, I'm John, and Nisha is trading orb, or pre-orb actually, and I'm trading a 15-minute continuation. So the limits are on the screen.
Maar iets doen op mijn gsm nu misschien.
Janne ook gezet.
Ja, ze heeft gisteren er iets van gezegd.
Dat ik gisteren hoe erop zet, dat ik niet vond. So at entry right now, on the orb price. I took half of my position. Should put out limit for TP, but took Can happen. Hey, we're all humans. We all do sometimes stuff that's not correct. Hey, even ChatGPT makes mistakes, and he's even a robot. So don't. It's just trading. We're humans, so it's morning. We can all do some stuff sometimes that's not correct. Maybe it was meant to be to take half out, but the market now changes its hand again. You'll be happy.
Nee, dat is, want nu heb je hier ook een 15 minuten gap. Want dat is toch geen break of structure gap dan? Nee.
Ja, maar dat is tegen de orderflow in zit gaan. Dus je kijkt.
Hoe moet ik dat doen dan?
Je kijkt gewoon welke richting dat we uitgaan en dat is de richting dat je dan treedt in. Dus we zijn nu.
Ja, en dan, als dit gebeurt, dan neem je dat toch gewoon?
Die neem je ook gewoon.
Ja.
Ja, als je geld winnen. Het gewoon een minder. Maar dan moet je terug hetzelfde doen. Dus dan pak je. I'll explain in English, so then you would do the same. And I would say this is a B setup, that's an A setup. This is the last move down. So if you retest this, this is like a B setup for A setup. If this is the last move that you would take, then this is an A setup, so you can take it, but then this is your TP, so it would look something like this. Or max this. You can take them both sides, no? Result winning. We zeggen allemaal zo het nemen.
Ja, dat is geen break of structure. Is dat een break of structure?
Dit was de break.
Waar zie je dat?
Nou, hier is de laatste laag, dat is de retest en dat is de break hier. Hier is de break onder. Hier.
Maar ik zie dat als dan waar ik mijn stop moet zetten, als ik heb geadd, dan gaat dan heeft hij een full body close. Is dat dan?
Ja. Maar ja, kijk. Het is de eerste nog heet een choke change in character, dat is wat we inhoud. Ten tweede is de boss structure that we change to downside, and then we have actually have retest back to the 15 minutes, and now we should actually have a new boss structure to the downside. But this movement right here is actually this was the last movement up, and this is actually the retracement inside this movement. So continuation says that we trade with the trend and not against it. So the major trend right now is up, so we should actually ignore this structure and just take the structure up. Once we get below this low, the structure changes fully, because this was the last leg up. So once we get below that wick, we actually change the character to the downside, and then we are looking for shorts. As long as we stay in this major structure, we should look for longs. What do we look it for? If we take our fib tool or anything else that you actually have where it has a 50 level inside. So let me put off everything else for a second. So what do we watch for? I'll even remove my drawings for a second. I'll put them back in a minute. So this was our last move. You want to watch anything up below 50% is what you want to long off. Anything above, what you want to short. So we are in an uptrend. So you want to take a long in this area, because this is fair value of price, premium, or a discounted area, and where do you want it long off. So then we watch, where do we see a 15-minute fair value gap? Where do we see one? Right here. So this would be my first idea, would be can long off. So we're still in that 15-minute gap right now. And we have actually one more just below it, that's right here. Now that is the second one. So the only two places where you could long off actually back to the highs is actually or this one or that one. Those are two valid entries. You can take both and put your stop just at the lows if you want to take both, or you can take one, put your stop here, take a second one, and put your stop at the low. So you can choose to take one long right here, just to enter it immediately when we got tapped. Your target is the high. Now your stop can be or here or this one. If you take it here, you need to retake it once you get stopped, and then take that one back to the high. Because if we broke a high and we had a retest, so we came up, we taken a high, so after taking a high, the market tends to go back to fair value of price. So this is what it does right here. It stays here around here. It still is at a fair value of price right here. So here we want to long off back to the highs. Because the major trend right here is up. We did not break any change of character yet to the downside movement. Not in a 1 hour, not in a 4 hour. So we're not having that movement yet, because this was a fair value gap, but we had one here too. So we're trading into a fair value gap. Once we break this low, we actually have a change in character to the downside, and then we're heading lower parts. Where do we head to? New levels, but for me that would be this day gap actually that we could trade into. But for now, this is a structure that still is built off this one. So we are just retracing. This is retracement of this huge bullish momentum. So once we are in this momentum to the downside, we are actually longing still, because this was the move and we are following the trend. We are not trading against the major trend, because this was the trend at the moment. Now we are just sitting here, and as long as we don't break that low, we continue that trend to the upside. Once we break that low, then it just gonna start flushing, and where do we go to? We could take out all this trend line liquidity then, and then go back to an external gap. Because we took an external level, back to fair value of price, back to an internal level, back to an external level. That's why we could have taken this fair value gap to enter it, and you can actually still enter this one right now. You would still be in it, and you're just taking actually equal lows. So we took Asia low, so we took actually a liquidity pool. We could intend that we could follow up further high. So then you could actually put your trade actually like this. If we want to go up from here, we should not take out that low again. that would be your trade too. Liever steuern. Nee? Ja. Sluit opnieuw uit. You want to stream your music on YouTube, do you want? Yeah, I use OBS. I didn't see the question yet, Philip, but I believe I just answered to your question. So here we did not make a new breakup structure, so we did not have a candle close, so this is no breakup structure. This was a sweep of liquidity actually, what we took here. So there was liquidity down here. Where do I find my liquidity here?
This is echt perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly. Sorry for my caps. I was still on. I use my numbers a lot and it's on the top of my keyboard. So here was liquidity pool, Asia low, so multiple levels where we could react off, and now we want to see how do we move. I just keep this one open because we already tapped that one several times. I want to see, do we actually go to that level? At this point it looks, indeed, change of character right here. We had a retest, or half a retest actually. So you can take this level to here. What do? We tapped build halfly that 50 level, not too much, just that was very close actually. It doesn't always work. Second level that we had is right here. What did we do? We came back to the highs, so that's 7.8 level actually. Yeah. You actually have to draw it to the upside. Put on my levels again for a second. Some noise of the screen. So if this was the last move that we did, so we came back to that 70 level, 78, and then we had a reaction back to that low. Now we're still here, but this was a liquidity pool where we actually still were moving from this move to the upside. So now if we break that low, then we are fully going low. If that was up here first, so if we came to the upside and then I saw a change in movement, I would have shorted it down to that level. But because we're already down here, it's not much shorting that I can do. This is like 2 points or something, so I can barely even, this is 10 points. So for me, that was still this big move that we actually are retracing, and then I want to see that movement back up. And now all I can do is be patient. Yeah, if we start flushing here and I see that we actually break under that level, then I can look for a short. And where do I short to? I will immediately short to that gap. Everything in between will just be noise. There ain't much liquidity pools in between. Yeah, and if we want to go down, that's another 170, 200 points, so that's definitely a very good play. But for now, we're just sitting here at the sideways movement, so we didn't get lower to that Asia low, we didn't get above it yet, so we're just hanging around here. Yeah, I've been going sideways actually from 2 o'clock until now, so that's about 6-7 hours. And we do need an expensive move or a move in a direction actually for both plays. And once we tap that limit order, that's why we will immediately see if we got a reaction. So it will tap and we will see some kind of form in this kind of wick in the next 3-4 minutes. Immediately off of that. If we do not have that reaction off of it, it will just flush through it. And now we know that we were not correct. You don't need to be always correct, you just need to be have bigger profits than not profits and make sure that your money management is correct. If it rests, it just will follow to you. Yeah, if you use OBS, this is OBS itself, so you can just download it for free and you can stream from here. I did watch a YouTube video once to actually know how to stream, so watch a video. There are enough on YouTube that actually explain it very nicely how it works, OBS. You just need to set up some settings, that's all. And you can actually start uploading then immediately. You just need a YouTube channel and you need to connect OBS with YouTube directly, and then it actually streams your screen. And if you just want to have your webcam on or something else, you can actually do that too.
Een geurtje op deze.
Oh. Wat heb je gezien? Maar niet goed zijn, wat? Dat eten nu? Ik ben er ook niet. Yeah, you get the hang of it rather quickly. How it actually works. OBS, it's definitely not nothing actually. That's nothing to learn about. Once the settings are done and you saved it, actually you never have to change it again. So that's rather easy. The only thing I don't like about a YouTube channel is that you have to set up that banner. That's actually not an easy thing to do. But that's on YouTube itself. That's nothing to do with music. Not the fastest market again today. At this point, still looking. It didn't have a strong push up either, so. For now, it looks like it still was a little bit more downside, but it didn't have the push up nor the push down at this point, so still being patient. We're still at the Asia level, so we didn't move above it. In these 5 minutes, we can actually see nothing. We didn't tap an internal liquidity, we just tapped an external. We came back and we actually retraced, so we have a chopped market right now. On a 5 minute base, there are no fair value gaps that's been hit or tapped. We just sit here. So all you can do is keep your hands off the buttons and just let this trade do its thing. I will repeat that last thing one more time. So if we hit the highs, the takeout is equal highs right here. Before my limit order is hit, I am taking off my limit order. So the reason why this is not a break of structure and this a liquidity grab is because the candle did not close below the wicks. So we need a full body close below it and actually a body close with a candle that's actually rather big. So same for here, we had just like a little top wick above that high, and that's actually a liquidity grab, and then we see a change in direction. So this is like good what's happening right here too. I would have loved to see us come just to the fair value gap right here because it's strange talk we have sometimes. What do you want? No, you can't sit on my lap. You're gonna say hello to the people. Oh, he wants to say hello. Okay, give it about 10 more minutes, guys, and I'm gonna call it a day. This is a bore. You do want to see that expansion, or there's no point in sitting here actually. You know, cat.
zo, kom.
So say we do have like a 15-minute right here. So I am watching this and how we act off of that 15 minute, but for me that's an internal level. So we came to an internal level, so we should not react off of it. If the market actually changed its hand right here back to the upside, so we didn't make a break of structure, so we didn't have that, we don't need that retest right now. So at this point we took a liquidity grab. So if this does not hold, we go straight, gonna flush through it and back to the highs. So we're not even gonna go to internal structure, we're actually gonna go straight to this high. Because we go from external levels, fair value of price, internal levels, back to an external level. You can almost see this everywhere. So we came from an external level back to fair value of price. So if we withdraw, this is the last move up. So we had here, let me fully put this on. So this is a break. So you could say this was the last move. And you can also take this move, wouldn't actually be much difference. I recommend to take, so this was the last break, this was that down partment, you take it from the last movement down to the high. So this was the previous break of structure from here, so we take that move down, so and then we want actually a candle with two candles beside it that has a lower wick. So this one has a lower wick and that one is lower, so we take it from here. Where do we take it to? To the highest point that we can find before we have a down candle. So this is actually that one. We don't take it to the top one because this one is still the, and then we can see we came back to that 62 level where we came into the 15-minute gap right here. This one would not be an accurate one because that was the 50 level. We didn't hit that yet. So you can then put your limit actually on that 15 minute right here. And then you can watch where do you want to have a fair value of price. This is that 50 level. We go just below it. We set our entry. Stop at the low or at the wick. Where do we target? We target first high. This actually would prevented you from being in this trade already. You would have been patient, you had no entry until this one came, and then actually here you had your entry. Same for this level, so we had, again, once we broke, pass to the structure to the upside. Here would not have worked. We did not came back to the low, so low 50% level. So that would have been a not smart entry. We didn't even have for value gaps either, so not much movement. So again, new break, retest, new break, from this to that high. This one would have worked too, to the high, back to 50 level, so no entry actually, still open. And then we had this last move. So here you will see that it probably will just flush through it. Because we took Asia low, we had that entry, and that should not stop it actually, because we want to go back to an external level. Because we are trading actually like this in the market. So we trade up, we make a break, we go to fair value of price, that would be here, we have a bit of a structure, not high enough, we come back to the internal structure, and now we have that second move back up. My limit order was perfect, we just didn't hit it. Nothing to talk about it. Like I said, once we get to that high, I'm taking it off because there's no point for us to come back to that low. We fully closed actually this move back to the downside was closed. So if you come back here one more time, we're gonna flush through it. So I don't want to be part of that part. So once we break this high, I'll close it and I will look for an entry somewhere in this next previous 15 minutes to go to the highs. We're still aiming for the same high. We're not going above it because this was, if you took a trade down here and you want to take it up here, this is called an A plus setup. So why it's an A plus setup is actually if you take that FIB again or anything that gives you a 50% level, once we get below that 50 level, this is an A plus setup because we come into a discount and we're selling it for a premium price. If we are trading into the upper part, so if you are trading from a premium to a premium, this is called a B setup because we actually have less chance to go up high because we're buying expensive to sell expensive. We want to buy cheap to sell expensive. Same if you're selling, you want to sell high to buy low. Oh, you want to sell high to sell even lower.
Position.
Morning, Altadine. Yeah, this one gets stopped probably. Next time, if this is an Asia low, I'm just taking that entry instead of having that limit order like 7 points below it. Nonetheless, good high. Market just does something different sometimes. Yeah, Warp and Pre-Op has not been favorable this week. Both of them actually did not work. Neither Warp or Pre-Op. Okay, me, exactly. So we're 2 minutes from 10. I'll give it a few more minutes and then see what happens if I don't get that limit order. I'll just leave it where it is at this point and see if it gets hit, yes or no. If I find a new entry up higher, we will take a look for that, of course. Holtmut. Je weet dat werkt.
Kan het toch niet gebeuren? Ik voel me niet rustig. Oh, hier is alles opgeladen.
Ik heb wel zo.
Oh, kom aan, zeg, hé. Het is echt niet rustig, hè? Nee.
So a new hour opens, yeah, this looks like it will go up higher from here on. If we get a new 15-minute gap, so if this creates a 15-minute gap to enter off, I would love to long this.
Hoe doe je dat mijn computer weer een beetje sneller gaat? Want die is hier van alle dingen aan het doen, dat ga je niet vooruit.
This was new. So clean read of the market, no entry. And that's a full orb fail. So if I find any 15-minute gaps coming up down here, we just want to long off of it, guys. Still, we're in an uptrend, we're moving all-time high, so as long as we don't take out the high and see a fast reaction to the downside, we still want to be longing. I explained already why I wanted to long. Bar structure, liquidity grab, and now longing. So once we break that 15-minute structure of the down movement right here, that means that we then have that continuation to the upside. We actually missed it by like how much? Well, half a point.
zeggen hoeveel, maar ik kan.
Als je dat per dag doet, zo met je net. Okay, so with 2 hours in stream, we're actually still at the opening of an hour, so we're actually 2 hours further and we actually did nothing. We just swept Asia low and we're still sitting here at this movement. It looks like it will continue back up to the highs and then we will see how far we actually get it. If I find any 15-minute gap just under it, I would like to long off of it and put actually. I would aim for all-time high, of course. That would be TP, full TP. So everything that you actually need to know about this trading day is actually on the screen right here. So we took liquidity with a limit order that we could take right here. If we go below 25,919, it looks like we have done a change in character to the downside. We do want to have a body close below it, so no wicks, just like a tap and then back into that structure. We do need a full body close, so candle close below, so an actually candle that closes nicely below on a 15-minute based. So we want to have a 15-minute fully close below it, and then we will see that the structure has changed, and then you can short the market. So where do we want to short to? So again, this is like, if we take that 4 hour, we did not have any retracement, so this is the full leg up. So this is that full leg, so where do we head to? At least 50% level or even lower. So that would go to at least 25,880. So this would be fair value of price, so that would be first TP once we break under this structure. As long as that doesn't happen, we are still looking for longs. And once we get to that level, the 25,875 or that 50% level fair value of price, you want to see, do we just get a tap and hugely move back out of it, or do we actually have a candle close that goes lower? Once we have candle closes go below it, do take partial right here, put your stop to entry immediately once you take this, and then see how the market moves. If it looks like it wants to fall further and it lasts like a second 15-minute close to the downside again, put your stop just at that 50% level. If we do bounce off any levels, you at least have that full TP from here too. But once we get below that, I actually see us come back to this opening gap. Doesn't always happen immediately, like I said, but it can happen in a few days, second day or third day afterwards. Not the greatest price action again that we had. So give about 3 more minutes and I'm calling it a day for the morning session. This is the same of that. We entered a 15 minutes for value gap right here. And look, we had a straight push through it, so it doesn't hold strength right here. So if you see something like this off of it, you can tell, okay, the market got rejected of that area. Here we didn't, so we just flushed through it. So we actually have an inverted for value gap right here. So we have a double stack for value gap on each other. Most of the times this shows that the orders that are in here didn't hold any value. So if they don't hold value, that means that the buyers, so this was the sellers, this were the buyers, that the buyers had more contracts than the sellers. So and they have more contracts, that means that the market should continue up higher. But remember that I said in the morning session that we're going sideways or a little bit chopped right now, and then price reading is sometimes less easy, especially if you read off charts just of the candles, because no 15-minute just chopping right here fully. We just took a high, went a little bit lower, we took Asia low again, and now we're just going ranging. So once we breach the high of 25,969 or 70, that means that this fair value gap was invalid and that we actually will continue high. As long as we don't break the high, it's still valid. But for me, it looks like we will continue higher. If you watch in a wider perspective from where we came, we had a retest, so we should continue from here. Okay, wish you all a very great trading session. If I see any trades what I could take, I'll leave my limit for now. If I have anything else that I can see, we will do it. Well, for now, not much to talk about. Not the greatest price action either. I'll see you all back in the afternoon. Again, it's still 2:15. So again, it's still 2:15 at normal time zone, so that we actually are trading. See you all back this afternoon, and Discord, of course.